Hey everyone, it's Bass Junkie transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video and back with a deep dive into my record collection once again. We're going back like 35 years to the very early days of like techno and rave in Germany with a megamix record. And just to give you a broad idea what a megamix is if you're younger, this is like a DJ mix but compressed down to like 15 or 18 or 20 minutes with many tracks put together on turntables. And back in the day, before like digital mixing and stuff, they also used to do this on tape, so with like razor blades and cutting things up and putting them together and stuff. This one, I guess, is done like a proper turntable mix, and we're talking about SUCMix 1, SUCMix Volume 1 on the SUCMI Plasma label, and this combines a lot of big names in electronic music in Germany. It's a one-sided vinyl record. A 12-inch runs for like 17 minutes. So the B-side is blank, and this is a label for the A-side basically, with the whole track list, and it's released on SUCMI Plasma. And SUCMI Plasma was an important label in like early German rave and techno. It was run by the guy now known as Tala 2XLC, who was the one who started the techno club in Frankfurt back in 1984, before techno as a genre like came to be proper. So this was a party that was put together and like comprised playing music composed and like produced by technological means. So that included like synth pop, industrial, early EBM, I guess Italo instrumentals and stuff, and other electronic music of the time, which later morphed into what would become like known as techno in the later 80s. And Tala 2XLC, who ran like SUCMI Plasma label with a beautiful logo here, and just mentioned down here in the corner, also was a producer behind a project that is called BGOT20, which you might know from the industrial scene, and also was on, behind many other projects. The DJ mix is done by Andy Dux, also known as Dux from the Acid House days. He is also the man behind Overdrive Records, a record store and label. The record store kind of still exists in Mainz, I guess, a long-standing figure of electronic music in Germany. And Holger Wick, which was the founder of Labworks Records, which was an important acid label later, like very hard experimental acid music. And together with Andy Dux, he also like founded Hellraiser Records, which was more like a GABA hard rave label, which also had like artists like Ilsa Gold or Sons of Ilsa, I guess Ilsa Gold, and together they also founded Now Records, which was also like a big name in the early rave scene. So those are a lot of names and connections combined. Holger Wick is also one guy behind the Telecom Electronic Beats series, I guess, and is the one who I guess selects the music for those like putting 6 DJs together like on the screen and letting them like guess, or like what kind of track is it, like 10 tracks of like early techno, 10 tracks of drum and bass and stuff. I don't know the name of the series right now, but you get the concept. So all of those names combined put together the SUCMix Volume 1, which is a basically a megamix compilation of what was important in early rave, released in 1991. So this is very, very early in the rave scene. A lot of Belgian sounds, or Belgium sounding sounds, with the big hoovers and stuff. Starting off with the Hypnotist, The House Is Mine, which is a rave classic, like a techno rave classic from back in the day. Has been remixed and re-released a lot of times. Of course, there's Holy Noise on there, which were quite popular, I guess, in Britain as well. They had like some tracks with a rapper on top. So imagine Too Unlimited, but like in better, in more underground, and in more like more ravey, more credible, I guess. LA Style, James Brown is Dead, like a major rave hit at the time, licensed from Zyx Records. We have like Coma Kino, which later had this big trance hit outfit. Outface, not outfit, outface. Fuse, Foo, this is on +8, this is like Richie Hawtin's label, and yeah, many other interesting things here. Apparently this has been repressed a few times because there is this black version, and apparently there have been many color variants as well, with like I guess red, blue, white, probably also green vinyl. So this is like a kind of interesting thing. Even before mix CDs were big, DJ mixes on CD, which became popular later, I guess. But this was one very early documentation of the early rave scene, what was popular in Germany. And also it has like this kind of remark here, music from the original techno club at Dorian Gray, which you can see here with the like very beautiful techno club logo. This was a party that was founded by Tala 2 XLC in 1984 and then moved to Dorian Gray to become a staple in like the German techno and rave scene. And Tala is still like DJing today. Now he's into more like big room commercial trance, not my thing. I met him once, like many years ago. We discussed some things because his label was managed by someone I knew, kind of, so we had like a one-off, but that didn't lead to anything bigger. And an interesting thing, an interesting artifact of the early German rave culture, and also interesting that it's like marketed as special limited edition one-sided record here. And there are a lot of contacts on there, which I guess I can show from all the labels where the records have been licensed from to use in this one. There is like back in the day it was still like phone calls or fax machines. So there's contacts for Cyclotron in Germany, ICM in Holland, Strictly Underground in the UK, Hit House Records in Belgium, which is basically a famous name, RNS, +8 Records, PCP, which was Mark Cardipane's label, which also did like very hardcore and like dark rave-ish stuff. Overdrive, of course, and yeah, Suck Me Plasma, the Suck Mix Volume 1. If you love like original Belgium, sound of Belgium, rave kind of stuff, and a lot of like big signals and raw editing and stuff, this is definitely one for you, one to seek out. And interestingly, the DJ mix, if it's like a proper turntable mix with like, I don't know, 3, 6, 12 tracks within like 17 minutes, it's very, very tight. So this is, in terms of technique, for 1991 is way out there, and I guess probably when it comes to Germany, one of the best like documented, like properly documented, and also released DJ mixes of that time that has been available commercially, I guess. So it would be interesting if one could recreate that with a little bit of training today, like if one got all the records together and invested a few days to get the mixes done and stuff, and to figure out the transitions. But this would be a thing for another day when one got enough time on hands and stuff. I don't have enough of those records to try that, but still I love this interesting document. I got other stuff from Suck Me Plasma as well, and I will probably be collecting more because this is one of the labels that was like very present when I started out to be a like aspiring teenage raver, considering that I was like 91 when this was released, but I didn't buy this in 1991, of course. But I got this, I don't know, at the record store I used to work at maybe, and someone put this in like secondhand or something, but I found this at some place a few years ago, and I couldn't let this pass as an opportunity to add to my more or less historic archive and record collection I got. So BAZE.djunkiii out for now. Hope you enjoyed this. If you know this one, or if you have other like DJ mega mixes on vinyl, let me know in the comments. I will get back to you, and for other stuff, know where to find me. I'm out. See you later.